Samantha at CrowSong Lodge, and so today I'm just gonna do like a little vlog, and I wanted to talk about internalized misogyny in the witchcraft community. That sounds dry and terrible, and I know it, but like hang in and just hear me out. Like, just give me a little bit and see whether or not you want to see where this is going. So, I often will make a list of topics for myself that I want to address, but I have a lot of thinky thoughts about them, and several of them kind of have been having this overarching theme lately. And they're tied to like Tumblr witches and Insta witches being thought of as like fluffy and fake and just on trend, and the Sephora witch kit that just came out, and Sabrina being a plague upon the witches, Sabrina the Teenage Witch that came out on Netflix, being a plague upon the witchy community and things like that. And I've been percolating on this for a while, probably for like a year, well, more than a year, but like more intensely for the last year. And I see this, I've been in the witchy community, like the witchy community, for 20 years, okay? I've been doing witchcraft for 30, more than 30. So I'm kind of an old timer at this point. But I've been in the community a lot, and the community gets really, really mad when witchcraft becomes trendy, which it does like once in a decade or so. And the last time I heard a ton of outcry like this was when the Craft movie came out and Practical Magic came out. All of a sudden witchcraft got really trendy again, and everybody wanted to be a teen punk witch, whatever. We do it every 10 years or so. It's a thing. It's part of our evolution. It's just part of who we are. Seasons come and seasons go. Okay? It's a thing. And the witchcraft community always gets really pissed off, and they get really angry about these fluffy witches who are just on trend or just teens or just want to be in on the thing, and how they're like invading the community and whatnot. And so I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to talk about some other comments that I've heard in a few recent like videos and discussions I've been seeing. I'm not gonna say that I have been hearing this from a majority of the community, or that I've been hearing it from all the old timers. It's just a topic that I've been seeing recurring in the community, so I don't want to misrepresent how common it is. But it's this idea of real witches versus like poser witches, although I don't think the kids say poser anymore. But it's the idea that some witches are just pretending because they want likes, or they want to be a cool kid or whatever, and some witches are real and they don't need all that shit. But we also, I think it doesn't just tie into that, like it also ties into who's real and who's fake. And for me, I think the reason this topic makes me so mad is because it goes back to like being in high school, when people were like, she might be gorgeous, but at least you're real. Like, at least you're a real person. At least you have a personality. And like hearing all, like, not all, I'm gonna do it too. Hearing other girls, especially girls who didn't have like a makeup hobby or a fashion hobby or something that's considered more traditionally feminine, who say like, I'm not like the other girls. I'm into computers, or I'm into photography, or I'm into sports, or whatever girls are not supposed to be into. And they're not like the other girls. Like, whatever's wrong with those other girls is something to be horribly ashamed of, and that makes them less of a person, or not even a real person. Like, they're just these dolls or mannequins that run around making you feel sad about yourself. And that is, I think that's what happens with this reoccurring trendiness of witchcraft, and that's what kind of has kicked off this little vlog mini rant today. It's this idea that real witches don't suit the Tumblr or Instagram aesthetic. They're not concerned about looking nice. They're not concerned about looking like a witch. They don't wear all the spooky jewelry. They don't have beautiful altars. They get dirty. They get nasty. They do the real thing. They use their menstrual blood and their moon cup and rituals and stuff, and it's like, what? Like, okay, that's really great, but you know, men are definitely welcome in the witchcraft community, but a lot of women are drawn to the witchcraft community because it is stereotypically and more populated by women. It's very women friendly. And for them to bring this internalized misogyny, like I'm not like the Barbie dolls, into the witchcraft community, and like doing your witchcraft that's too pretty makes you less of a witch, is really unfortunate. It makes me really sad is what it is. And I was ranting at one of my close personal friends this morning because, of course, I watched another video where a person was ranting about it. But it's not just because this person was ranting about it. It's because it's something that I struggled with. And it's that internalized misogyny, that whole, like, I'm a real witch. Those other pretty girls aren't witches. And you can be a pretty, like, I'm not even a pretty girl, but like the pretty girls can be witches too. You can dress like a freak or a witch or like a librarian and still be a witch. Like, you can dress like a cowboy and still be a witch. It doesn't matter. You can have no particular aesthetic and just hang out in your pajama or onesies all day and still be a witch. Literally, if you do witchcraft, you're a witch. If you're an eclectic witch, you're a witch. If you're a hereditary witch, you're a witch. If you're a dyadic witch, you're a witch. If you're a Wiccan, you're a witch. If you're, I don't know, like a green witch or a cosmic witch or, I don't know, a death witch, whatever crazy cool thing you want to do. If you're a witch with a punk aesthetic, rock on. If you're a witch who's really into cats and like Miyazaki films, then go for it. Like, do your thing. In fact, I told my friend, I was like, if your aesthetic is that you always wear denim and that's the only thing you wear, then you do you, man. Your witchcraft is just as valid as everybody else's. And I think that's my frustration. Anyways, so Sephora came out with that witchcraft kit. Like in Halloween, right? That was like their big Halloween sale. And people were so mad. You can't market witchcraft. You can't just sell it on point like it was an accessory. Like, it was a rose quartz and a sage bundle and matching eyeshadow, I think. Like, I can get that at the drugstore, guys. I don't see why we're so offended. And if we think in the witchcraft community that everybody needs a rose quartz because it's so amazing and wonderful, then why am I going to be mad at Sephora marketing it? I might get pissed if Sephora is like, only rose quartz from Sephora is worth anything. Then I might have a word to say about it. But like, spread that rose quartz around, man. Get it from the makeup store. Like, everybody needs to get in on some rose quartz. Like, I don't care who you are or what you believe. Get you some rose quartz. It's good stuff. So yeah, like, go ahead, Sephora, get in on that witchcraft kit thing. I'm like, nobody cares what I think anyway, but I am all for it. And then, like, so what if witchcraft is trendy? Like, that's how people discover it. There are so many people who discovered witchcraft and Wicca and paganism through the craft. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people who fell off and they were like, yeah, that was a phase, I'm over it now, right? But there are people who stuck around, and if it weren't for those trendy things, they never would have discovered their right path, and that is so freaking cool, guys. And the craft is awesome, and the practical magic, they're like a must. I love them, right? Like, they're amazing. So if a Sephora witchcraft kit gets someone into paganism or Wicca or witchcraft in general, then, you know, even if it only helps them out in their life for 3 years and then they decide to move on and do something else, that's cool. Like, anything that adds value, like real genuine value to someone's life, why am I gonna harsh on it? Like, they can borrow from me. Now, there's controversy over sage and smudge kits and whatever, and I'm not gonna get into that, but just on the general thought that, like, yeah, We should be welcoming people into our community, and they don't have to pass a quiz or an initiation or some kind of hazing to prove themselves and their dedication to us before they even know what's what. That's a horrible thing. Like, greet them with open arms. You don't have to give them your soul, guys. Just like, be nice. Let them explore things. Let them explore new concepts. Let them see the world. Maybe it's not for them, but maybe it is. And we should be glad to see them. And the more people who learn about witchcraft and Wiccans and pagans, the less we're going to see this stuff that is going on in other countries. In like Romania, where the politicians are going after witchcraft, and in South Africa, where people are going after witches and stuff. So often in the community, even here in the US, I see people who are like, I don't think I'm Christian anymore, and I think I'm probably pagan, and my family's gonna kill me. Usually this isn't literal, but sometimes this is a real, literal, sincere thought people have, and that's a terrible thing. And maybe if their parents had experimented with a Sephora makeup kit when they were teenagers, it wouldn't be as scary, and people wouldn't have to be as terrified, okay? So I'm all for the good PR. Like, Starbucks, make your funny drinks. Don't make them go from sweet to sour on me. I don't like sour things, and I don't like being tricked into drinking sour things. But like, that's a flavor preference. I don't care. If Hocus Pocus hasn't offended me, if green-faced masks with long noses at Halloween don't offend me, Sephora is not going to offend me. I have other issues with Sephora that have to do with like positive consumer practices and manufacturing practices and stuff, but like their witchcraft kit is not a problem. So yeah. But to bring this rant back around to the root, this whole real witches versus insta witches is, I feel, internalized misogyny. If you need to draw that distinction and be like, I'm not one of them, they're doing it wrong, while also saying all you have to do to be a witch is say you're a witch, then you need to examine that feeling. And I'm not going to say you're not a real witch for doing that. I'm just saying we all have to fight this internalized issue that we have, where we're fighting to prove to other people that we're authentic and real, authentic TM. So like, think about why you have to draw that distinction between who's real and who's fake. Why are you policing what other people are doing? Why does it matter so much to them? And like, what is the real crime here? Like, what is really being hurt? Because like, all the good PR we get is better. And I don't see any problem with people experimenting with witchcraft as a teenager or a preteen or whatever, unless they suffer real damage from it. Which is hard to do, okay? It's very hard for noobs to get in real trouble, so don't even come at me with your Ouija boards. Because I have opinions on those too. So anyway, this is Mathara ranting about internalized misogyny in the witchcraft and pagan communities. And I will talk to you later with a much more helpful video, perhaps. Bye guys, be nice to yourself and be nice to other people. Like, take a note from Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers, alright? And be cool. I'll talk to you later. Bye.